Hi friends, welcome back to Azure Content YouTube channel. This is the continuation video in SQL real-time scenarios playlist. This is the same requirement which we had in the previous video where we had to identify all the customers who had never made a transaction. So in the previous video, we achieved the same thing using not in clause in SQL. In this video, we will try to achieve the same thing using a different solution. Okay, so here the use case is we have two tables, which is customers table and transaction table. In customers table, we have the details of all the customers where there are two columns called customer ID and customer name. So we have 10 entries in customers table starting from 101 till 110. We have all the customers ID and customer names. And in transaction table, we have the details of transactions made by the customers present in customers table. So if you see, there are few customers who have never made a transaction. If you see 103 doesn't have an entry in transaction table. Similarly, 107 and 110 doesn't have an entry in transactions table. And the corresponding customer name we have to fetch in the output. So that's what is our requirement. Okay, so we have achieved this requirement in the previous video using not in operator, and here is the query for the same. In the previous video we had used this query. You can see select customer name from customers table where customer ID not in, select distinct customer ID from transactions table. So this was our query which used to return these three results, which is Charlie, Grace and Jack. These are the customers who have never made a transaction. So in this video we will try to achieve the same thing using a different approach. What we are going to do is we are going to perform a join between these two tables. Okay, so there are different kinds of join. We can perform inner join, left join, right join, or full outer join. But we will go ahead with left join. Why left join and why not inner join is because inner join will only return the matching records. So for example, if this row is matching with a row in transaction table, so this result will return in the inner join. But suppose 103 is not present in transaction table, so this result will not appear in the output itself. But in case of left join, if we perform left join, all the records from the left table will appear in the output. Wherever there are matching records from the right table, that will appear as it is, and wherever there are non-matching records, that will appear as null in the right table. Okay, so I will show you by writing the query. If you see, these are the two tables. We are going to perform join between them. Okay, so select star from customers table and transaction table. We are going to perform join between them. And on which column we are going to perform join? On the common column we have to perform the join, and the common column is customer ID between these two tables. Okay, so select star from customers table. If I do inner join transactions table, okay, we have to first give an alias to the table names. For example, if I give C, and for transaction table I'm going to give T. Okay, and now we have to mention on which column we have to perform the join. So on C dot customer ID equals to T dot customer ID. Okay, if I do this, this is going to give me the result, which is the matching rows between both the tables. You can see these are the matching rows, and the total number of records is 8. 8 records have been matched between customers table and transaction table. But if I do a left join between these two tables, you can see the result. So you can see it is returning all the records from the left table, and wherever there is a non-matching record, it is giving null in the column of right table. Okay, so you can see there are three records where we have null present for the columns in the right table. So we have to fetch only these three records for which the right table is returning null. And that is what our expected output is. We want all the customers who have never made a transaction. So you can see it is clearly indicating that these customers have never performed any transaction, and the value for their transaction is null if we perform a left join with the customers table. Okay, so basically we just need to filter using where clause, where T dot customer ID is null. These are the records which we have to filter out, and these are the customers who have never made a transaction. So instead of star, we will just derive the customer name from this output. Okay. So we got all the customer who have never made a transaction, and this time we used left join to achieve the same output which we had achieved using not in operator. If I run both the queries, you can see the output is same. We got all the customers who have never made a transaction. So either you can use not in, or you can perform a left join and just filter out all the customers who are not having any entry in the right table. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you find this video helpful. Please hit on like button and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you.